Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. I've got another clutch cutting and ID video for you guys, but this one has a specific secondary purpose. For 2 seasons now, ARP has been producing animals which are extremely bright and have a very distinctive pattern, and we have long suspected that there's an extra gene that came in one of our JKR purchases. Of course, we've known or suspected what this gene is for quite some time, and we have double checked back with Justin and confirmed that there is actually an extra gene in that pairing that produced the snake that we have that might have been missed. So this is an example of what you need to do if you do not have genetic testing that could solve this problem in one fell swoop. It's required several generations of breeding back, and selective pairings in order to identify that gene. So as you watch this clutch cutting and the ID, there is a story behind the identification of the additional gene. Still not 100% certain whether it is the gene or not. I won't give that away, I'll leave that for the video. But you guys jump in the comments below and let me know what you see. Alright, so here is the female for this clutch. She is a yellow belly spot nose. And this girl laid while I was on holiday in Australia. So for the first 10 days or so, she was incubating her eggs at room temperature before I got home and removed them, put them in the incubator. And that 10 days at about 86, 87 Fahrenheit has meant that I have had to wait until day 63 to get pippers. So a 10-day maternal incubation before going into the incubator has extended the incubation by about 5 days. That just gives you an idea of the sensitivity of these eggs to temperature. Note that this sensitivity to temperature affects the duration of incubation, the time it takes to hatch. It does not affect the sex ratio of the hatchlings. It does not determine gender. Ball pythons are not temperature sex determined animals. Sex is determined at the time of fertilization. So here is the male for this clutch. He is a leopard clown, so obviously we are trying for Het Batman. Spot nose and leopard together make a Batman, and these will all be Het for clown. And so Het Batmans and yellow belly Het Batmans. But the thing about this male here is he appears to be not just a leopard, and were hatched from a snake that we now know contains an extra gene. So I'll be looking for that gene in this clutch. I do not know if this male has it. I do know what that gene is, so if I spot it I will let you know, but otherwise this male is what we're calling leopard extra. So if he has the extra, we should see it and I can label him appropriately, or we can just label him as leopard clown if the extra gene doesn't show up. So here we go. Here is the clutch card. Spot nose yellow belly times leopard extra clown, and 4 out of the 6 eggs have already pipped on day 63. So let's cut them and see what we got. The head stamp on this one has a dot in the middle and some blushing at the rear. There we go. He's gone back in now, so I can cut. And this looks like we do have a leopard here, very dark. Let's try this next egg. There we go. He's gone back in, so I can cut more easily. And that one is brighter. I think this is probably leopard yellow belly. Yes, I'm seeing leopard in there, so leopard yellow belly. So we haven't seen any spot nose yet. Let's cut the next egg. Okay, again, that's leopard. I don't know what else is in there. Is that leopard spot nose? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait for that to come out. Has a slightly different colour, and I can see a very strong stripe on the tail there. No sign of the extra gene. Let's take egg number 4. Everything's been leopard so far. Okay, that's very dark, but I'm seeing very pronounced alien head, but very dark. Goodness, that's dark. I can't see that. Ah, yes, okay. There's the head. If I can just get him to stick his head out a little bit here. Very dark. Okay, 2 more eggs. Okay, there is our leopard spot nose. Nice. And the last egg. Let's just roll the membrane away from the shell here. These are ready to hatch, so there's no blood veins left on the inside, but just in case there are, we'll do this rolling thing. Cut that. That looks to me like the obligatory normal. This has got none of the genes in it. Typical, there's always one. So I'm saying our obligatory normal for this one. Alright, so these two here are the bright ones and they have yellow belly. They're both leopard yellow belly here. This one is very dark. This one looks like just a straight leopard. This one is our Het Batman, and this looks like a yellow belly, so this could be spot nose, yellow belly and leopard all combined in one. That's quite nice. And then of course we've got our normal. Okay, so all out of the egg, and there are 6 snakes here. Once again we're going to sort through them and allow our eyes to do the work. So there are 2 snakes here that are very, very dark, almost black in colour, and we have 3 snakes here which are quite yellow. We've got these 2, and we have this guy which is even brighter still. So if we start with our base canvas, the inevitable normal, this has none of the genes associated with this pairing in it. This missed everything. This is our normal, and there is yellow belly in this pairing. So how do we know that this is not yellow belly, that this is a normal? Well, if we look at the belly, there's no flaming up the sides, and the belly is completely white with no digital edge markers. If we compare that to what a yellow belly would look like, this one is slightly older, but you can see much brighter, has these awesome flames up the side, which this normal guy does not have. And if we just check the belly on this guy, you can see the digital edge markings here of yellow belly and a slightly yellowish tinge to the belly. The camera is not picking it up very well, but in person you can see there is a yellow tint. So the flaming, the digital edge markings and the yellow tint tell us this is yellow belly. The head stamp is also slightly blushed, which is something that our normal guy here does not have. So this is our normal. It's not a yellow belly, it's just a normal. And then we have 5 snakes, these 2 dark ones here and these 3 yellow ones here, one of which is particularly bright, but all of which contain leopard. How do we recognize leopard? First of all leopards have a distinct spot on the head. There's the other one, you can see that. This is one of the yellow ones, and you can see the spot on the head, and this one also does have a spot on the head, but this one is different. We'll come back to that, but it does contain leopard. I've done a video on leopard before, and leopard tends to draw out or extend out horizontally the alien heads. So you can see here at the back how these stripes are drawn out, the alien heads are all drawn out horizontally. You can see that here, and everything lines up. You can almost draw a line down through all the dots of a leopard, join the dots to find the leopard. Another common characteristic of leopard is the zippered belly. It has almost a zip pattern down the middle of the belly. So this one is leopard. It's not very bright, it's quite dark, so I'm saying this one is just leopard het for clown. This one again shows the typical extended out horizontal alien heads of leopard, and everything lines up. You can draw a line down through these, a parallel line all the way down through the body, and you can see the pattern there extended out at the tail with all the alien heads drawn out horizontally. So this one is also leopard. Now the head stamp is a little bit different on this one, and you'll notice the belly does not have a zipper. So we're going to come back to this one in a moment. This is the one that had me fooled before it came out of the egg. I thought actually initially the head stamp was also spot nose. You can see that at the front of the head here we do have an almost spot nose like spot at the front of the head, but it's not spot nose. There is no spot nose in this. So let's come back to that in a moment. This one again is very yellow, but you can see the typical leopard extended alien heads here. Okay, so again this is a typical leopard pattern. Head stamp is a little bit brighter and it's a yellow colour because this has yellow belly. This is leopard yellow belly, and the pattern gets quite busy with yellow belly. If we look at the belly, you can see the digital edge markings and the yellow colour from yellow belly. That's quite obvious, but yellow belly has wiped out the zipper. It's not a white belly now. It does have those digital edge markings and a yellow collar, but there's no zipper. And we have two of these guys. You can see the typical leopard pattern with the drawn out alien heads here. You can draw a line all the way down, join up the dots to make the leopard. Again, it has that head stamp with the slight blushing and the very yellow colour. So these two guys are the same. These are both yellow belly leopards. Let's take our yellow belly leopard and add spot nose to it. This one definitely does have the spot nose head stamp. It's leopard, but you can see that it has the modification that spot nose brings that gives this very Batman-like pattern. So again, we have these horizontal drawn out alien heads, but now we have these vertical bars, which is what spot nose is doing. So it's making this snake a lot more patterned. There's a really nice pattern to this. So this is our Het Batman. It's yellow belly because it's nice and orange. But this one is actually the clincher for the extra gene. Can you see how bright that head stamp is and how the colour of the head comes down the neck here? On both sides you can see colour, bright colour coming down the neck. This is exactly what I was hoping to see, and why that first snake initially fooled me, because this is not a straight spot nose leopard head stamp. This snake is also quite a bit brighter than the other two yellow belly leopards, and it's not just the addition of spot nose. This is what I was looking for. This is leopard, spot nose, yellow belly, Cyprus. This guy has Cypress in him. Going back to this original dark snake with the head stamp that does look a little bit as if it has the spot at the front of the nose that spot nose brings. And the thing that fooled me here, look at these alien heads. Dot, 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 dot. These are very spot nose like, but this isn't spot nose. The head stamp is not spot nose. This guy is also a leopard Cypress. If we look at the head stamp is much lighter than the other guy. Look at the side of the head and you can see the light colour goes down the sides of the head onto the neck. You can see some additional flaming and some rather blocky looking patterning, and we no longer have a zipper on the belly. Cypress has taken the zipper away. So this one is actually different to this one. This is a straight leopard het clown. This is leopard Cypress het clown. We'll have to wait for Shed to see that better, but this is what I wanted to see, and it's this one here that is the clincher. This is the Het Batman which we wanted. It's also yellow belly, so it's a Het yellow belly Batman, but this is quite clearly also Cypress. So for 2 years now, ARP has been producing some stunning animals, very, very bright, with light coloured heads and a very distinct pattern. And these all came from a Het Gotham that we acquired from JKR in 2019. And we've been trying to work out what that extra gene might be, ever since then, and we've had several seasons now where we have produced these animals time after time. We narrowed the gene down to the spot nose complex. These animals all look very spot nose like, and we thought at first that it was blackhead for a number of reasons, and we contacted Justin and asked what else was in the pairing that he didn't identify in the snake that we purchased, and sure enough, it was Cypress. So the Cypress gene went unnoticed in the leopard coral glow het for clown, and you can see in the picture here another coral glow clown, and it is very difficult to see Cypress in coral glow. So obviously the clues are there in the male that I used for this clutch, and you can see a blackhead leopard clown with its characteristic double row of dots, which the snake also has. However, the non-clown versions that we produced did not have the reduced eye stripe, so we started to look elsewhere, and we looked at Cypress, and here you can see a Cypress leopard clown which does show some similarities to the sire that I used for this clutch. Typically they would have a lighter coloured head, and this guy does have a light coloured head, but not strikingly lighter in colour. And so I selected a spot nose to pair with him, knowing that spot nose and Cypress was allelic. This would give us our best chance of seeing the colours really pop if we did get an allelic reaction in the offspring. Cypress in straight leopard can be very hard to identify. Here's just one example from Morph Market, and if you take a look closely at the head stamp, it is an exact replica of the head stamp on the leopard Cypress that I have produced in this clutch. So you can see now the distinctive pattern and the distinctive head stamp, plus the blushing up the sides, and these very spot nose like alien heads here are all actually quite characteristic of Cypress. But it was the other snake that I produced, the Het Batman with spot nose, that really made this jump out, and you can see from the head stamp and the bright head that this is Cypress. So now we've got that one figured out, we've been trying to figure out what our X-clown is, and we've already been able to mix this with other spot nose complex genes and get a very strong reaction. The head stamp is very spot nose like, as you can see from these shots here, and it has a very light colour to the back of the head. But the distinguishing thing about the X-clown is the belly pattern. This one has a really strong belly pattern. Even in the non-clown versions of these snakes, the belly pattern is retained. Also a distinctive head stamp. We call it the X-clown. It first popped up in some very unusual clowns, and again we have now got a generation of babies from that X-clown. We still have some work to do. We don't know what it is. So there you go, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you see. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.